Lights on.
All right, the Eli Manning Report is brought to you by Toyota. Kick off the season with great deals from Toyota, the official vehicle of the New York Giants. By Town Fair Tire, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. By Wendy's, the official hamburger restaurant of the New York Giants. By Agera Energy, the Tri-State's premier electricity and natural gas supplier. Visit AgeraFan.com for a hassle-free quote. And by the First National Bank of Long Island, member, the bank where everyone knows your name, member FDIC. After a couple of days to kind of just get past what was an ugly game. We're joined now by the quarterback of the Giants, Eli Manning. Eli, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing good, Mike. How are you?
All right, Eli. I hope the Thanksgiving was better than that game because, boy, it wasn't much of a fun night that night.
No, not a very good game offensively. Couldn't get very much going. Had missed plays, missed opportunities, and 3 points is not going to win you many games. So, just a tough one for us. But we just we gotta just find ways to be better. It's no excuse for the performance that we gave.
I saw a couple of stories the next couple of days, Eli, when I was sifting through them, and one was entitled that this loss was tougher for you than others. Was it harder for did this one hurt you or bother you more than some of the others did?
Hey, every loss hurts, and it can be disappointing, and each one is different. You feel differently after each loss, whether you missed a few throws or made bad decisions or. But this one, this one was tough to swallow just because, we just did not play well at all. Just 3 and outs and
didn't do anything. Nothing happened.
Right.
It was one of those games where there was no life in the offense.
Right, and so that's disappointing. And it's a short week, and you prepared for it, but it wasn't. We had answers, we had opportunities, and just kind of everybody. Had their part in it. It wasn't one person or one group. It was a whole team, and just everybody kind of took turns making get beat or making a mistake or and had a role in the loss.
Yeah, that one, I guess, there's some that are going to be more painful than others. That one, as you said, just never got started from the offensive standpoint, and especially the second half where there was there wasn't much going on. The offensive line breaking down, passes being dropped. I mean, if the whole thing. I mean, I'm not saying there was really just one of those nights where nothing seemed to work right offensively.
Yeah, it was a tough one, and especially, like you said, especially the second half. Were just a lot of 3 and outs, and just tough to get first downs. And like I said, I missed a few throws in the second half.
Yep.
First half, had some drops, they had some sacks. Like I said, everybody kind of had their role in this one. So it's just that's a frustrating. It's disappointing because we could play better than what we did. And there's some games when the defense just takes things away and you got nothing. This one, we had opportunities, we had chances, and we didn't take any advantage of it to be better. And Washington tried to, felt like they were trying to give it to us at times, and defense played outstanding, getting us turnovers, keeping us in the game, and we just couldn't do anything to help them out.
Talking with Eli as we get ready off that loss to go make the long trip this week to go see the Silver and Black out at their place, which is never an easy place to visit. They're not having a great season. They're still in the mix, though, so you got to expect you're going to get some, an inspired effort out of them this week as they try to get to 500.
Yeah, well, no matter, like I said, all year, no matter what record you go and you prepare and understand that you got a responsibility, and that's to prepare and go win a football game. We still, as I told the guys, it's about loving what you do, and hey, all week we got to prepare, and we're going to work, and we're going to practice and go through. Do everything we have to do, and hey, on Sundays that's the time to go enjoy it. That's the time you get to celebrate, feel good about it. When you're out there on the field for those 3 hours. Hey, your record doesn't matter. What everybody said about you doesn't matter. You got a chance to go, do something great and make plays and enjoy that moment, enjoy that time, being with your teammates and playing a game you love, and get to have some excitement. So hey, let's make the best of that time, and let's have the preparation beforehand to put us in a situation to enjoy that moment, and celebrate a win, and come back and handle the rest of everything that's going on after that time on the field where we can just go play football.
There's a different feel to the season after Thanksgiving when you're out of it. The weather's getting cold. You're either playing teams that are in your boat or you're playing contending teams. Does it help to be playing contending teams? Does the game feel different to you when you can play the spoiler role against somebody in your division or somebody that is in it versus when, you've had the tide turns many, many times. Did you consider the team that was out of it still very dangerous on those years where you needed to get a win and you were the other team playing with a good record, and you're going up against a team that was having a dangerously bad season?
Well, I think when you flip the roles, I think those teams, hey, they're like we are. We're hungry for a win. We want to win. We want to have that excitement, and so I think both teams are hungry, and we got to we're going to come out fighting. We're going to prepare, and we're going to give it our 100%. So I think that's the mindset. That's how we're looking at the game. That's all we can worry about.
And that's, listen, that's been what you've said. I know it probably gets tedious to even talk about week in, week out, to get asked the same questions all the time. But everyone always wonders, and the fans wonder, just how many times you guys can be resilient with the same feeling when things aren't going well.
Yeah, well, that's our only option. I think for a lot of guys, hey, it's not the circumstances that we want to be in. We don't want to be 2-9 and playing these games and out of the playoffs. But this is a position we put ourselves in. Now it's about, hey, what do you enjoy? Do you love playing football? And I think for me, that's, hey, I love playing quarterback. I love preparing. I love having the right check and the right play and getting us into good plays and scoring touchdowns and enjoying those 3 hours on the field with your teammates and feeling good about that. And so, hey, that's all you can focus on is trying to prepare to get that feeling for 3 hours where, like I said, your record doesn't matter, and hey, next day you can worry about what your circumstances are, but for those 3 hours on the field, you get to play a game you love and enjoy being with your teammates, enjoy the opportunity to go win a football game, and the joy that brings you. So I think you're playing for that reason.
Does it excite you? Does it help the unit at all, Eli, when like a next week when an Eagle team will come rolling in with 10 or 11 wins or something like that and riding high on the wave? Does that help get guys motivated? Does it help to see a team like that and try and see if you can pick off a team like that late in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're playing a team in a division, you definitely want to win those games. It means a little bit more. When you play a Philly and they're playing well, just to say, hey, we can compete with anybody. But I think you got to take that for every game. Just try to. It's still just about that time on the field and enjoying those moments of playing the game of football and going to win and enjoying that feeling that knowing that's kind of what you're chasing, that feeling after the game when you felt like you've done a great job and you gave it your all and you're satisfied with the performance, so that you're able to come together as a team and get a win.
We're talking about Eli Manning, of course. You're in this a little differently than other guys are. You've had a great career. You've been in one place your whole career. You're not one of these guys who's, wondering if he's going to be in the league next year, wonder what team he's going to be on next year. With that stuff being the case, in these last 5 games, do you get anything that you can take into next year, that you can take forward into, with your nucleus of guys, to the guys who are going to show you that they want to be part of this team and want to be part of the future of this team and shake off what has been a very trying season?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're always, you're going to see the characteristics of guys during this stretch. hey, do they love football? Do they love being a part of this? How do they handle tough times? And hey, this is as tough as they get. And your guys to, as I said, I think our preparation's been good, and our toughness and our competing have all been good. We got to continue to do that. Their effort's been there. We just so we got to continue with those things, and a lot of that will be tested this next week, and so the leaders got to step up and do a good job showing that commitment, that enthusiasm under the circumstances.
Has this been the toughest year of your career? Was there any other year you would compare to it, or as this year, especially with the expectations, has this been the toughest year?
Well, yeah, it's been tough just to, just dealing with some of the injuries and losing key players and the record where it is. It's up there. It's been a tough circumstance. And, hey, there's nothing. It's not going to get easier. It's just, hey, we gotta just keep fighting and kind of find ways to. And it might not always be the prettiest win, but we got to find ways to win ugly and keep it tight and find ways to make some plays down the stretch and give ourselves a chance to win.
Can you still see, is the team showing you everything it needs to show you? Have you seen any fall off or anything where you are concerned about anything you've seen, or have you seen the effort and the attitude that you want to see from your guys? No,
I think that the effort and attitude have been there. Hey, guys are offensively, guys were embarrassed and upset about performance on Friday. I know that wasn't acceptable. So, obviously last week's it's so different with that short week. There's there's hardly any practice.
Right.
And so, but before that, obviously, seen great effort in games. And I thought there was great effort during the game on Thursday night. Obviously, hey, we got to make some plays and we got to be more, execute better. But hey, that's those things you can kind of deal with. But I think this week will be telling. And I think our effort and focus has been good all week. And now, hey, we got to elevate that and make sure not only we focus, but hey, we got to go be committed to making the plays next day.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you get Shepard back this week. I don't know what his status is yet. And Ingram kind of last week kind of fell off for the first time you saw him. Had a really bad game for him. And he had some drops, and he's been very productive this year. That was the first really bad game that he had.
Yeah, I mean, we had some like I said, we all kind of had our part and not making plays that were there for us to make last week. And hey, Evans, he's competing, he's tried, and it can be tough late in the year for a rookie, and on a short week and a lot going on. So he'll bounce back. He's a tough kid and a smart kid, and it's important to him. And I know he'll come back and continue making plays for us.
They're going to look to you for this stuff. I'm sure that's, you're always optimistic anyway, but I'm sure at times it must be trying even your optimism with this team.
Well, that's, hey, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy playing quarterback, and I enjoy the preparation, all that goes into it. And so I think that's what you rely on during these times. Just the fact that, hey, going to play a game I love and get to compete, and I have faith in the guys around me that it's important to them also, and so I got to make sure, hey, my spirits are up, my enthusiasm, and make sure people know it's still important. It's important to me. It should be important to them. It's important to this organization and the coaches that we go out there and compete and go win a football game.
Is it harder to have this type of season later in your career rather than earlier? I mean, would it have been easier to take earlier in your career, or is it easier to take because of the success you've had in your career?
No, I think it's tough. I think, I guess early in your career, you just kind of fear, hey, I got to get better. I'm going to use this opportunity as a learning opportunity to playing games and kind of get my feet wet and make some mistakes and learn from it, so I'll be better the next year. As you get into year 14, you're kind of looking for obviously you want to make playoffs opportunities to win championships, and you're kind of looking forward to those opportunities, and to already be out of the mix at this point. It's definitely tough, but that's just all I can do is now just be there for my teammates, and go compete and do my job.
All right, we'll talk to you next week. Thanks, Eli, very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right,
Thank you.
Eli Manning, and the Eli Manning Report was brought to you by Toyota. Kick off the season with great deals from Toyota, the official vehicle of the New York Giants. Not an easy spot, as you would expect, and not an easy time for him. But, Eli's never going to show you anything except you know what, I like to play the game. I'm going to try and win this week, and he's going to go out and give you his best. I think we all know he's going to do that. You'd like to see him play a little better. You'd like to see the support around him be better. You like the offensive line caved in last game. When he did throw the ball well, it was dropped. I mean, it was just a miserable performance. And the Raiders are trying to get to 6-6, so their game out there will not be an easy one. On top of that, here comes Philadelphia into the building next week. Maybe that gives the Giants a little lift. We'll see. They got 5 more of these to play in what has been just an awful, brutal season. Very tough season to take, especially for a quarterback this late in his career. With the career he's had in this kind of year, especially with what was expected, this has got to be very hard to swallow. No question. Back after this.